Oh, yari, good morning. It's a nice Monday. Gonna, I suppose, try finishing up the rest of episode 6 here. I say try, but we're most likely are. We should be close enough to the end of it that we can just get everything out of the way. How's up with my glasses? Sorry, taking a moment to clean my glasses here before we begin. I thought it was like had some deep scratches on weird looking smudges. I'd be worried for a sec. I just spent all my money on Sonic Racing. I can't go out and buy new glasses yet. Anyway. Kind of feeling a little rough, but we got coffee, finally, again. Been a decent while since I had coffee. I think we're gonna use that to power on through and try to finish everything all in one go here. Where I'm forgetting how this works. There it is. Anyway. After we left off, things were looking good for Battler. A little too good. Of course, something bad had happened, and it was what led him to be trapped in that room at the very beginning. He's got to figure out a way through this, right? No way he doesn't. Also, how does it? I'm believing that he makes it through it, but like even if he does, how do they continue it for like 2 more episodes? What do you mean here? Oh, can't be saying stuff like that. Trying to make me mad. Also, let's put the gold on. You know what? No, let's put the dark glasses on. Yeah. Oh, yes, Jim. Where did we start off last stream? It was only a couple days ago, but my memory's already fading. He literally killed someone. Not someone. She literally just killed this entire family just because she wanted her freaking deductions to be perfect. It's so fucked up. I hate her. I hate her so much. Alright, we started on a Jessica Kyrie fight. Thank you. Wow, you remember that and I don't? What's gonna happen with the whole, freaking like challenge thing going on with the Furfur and Fernt. I forgot the other one's name. Yeah, let us. Whoop. Surfer? No, that's not it. I'm sure I'll remember as soon as we load in. I want the character profiles. Mean deserves. Zepar, there we go. Thank you, Furfur. Oh, it's all silent here. Okay, I wouldn't have. I thought there was music playing. Oh, what the fuck? I didn't. I didn't think to check this last time after she. I didn't even hear the chime saying that they were updated. The most perfect kind of corpse, rendering a mistaken autopsy impossible, while also being completely identifiable. That's so fucked up. In Battler here. Oh, okay. That his is still like unknown. That's kind of funny. All of the goats save me. Anyway, we had to fight. We had to fight. Battler gave Erica tape, an absolute fucking mistake. 3 rooms worth, he said, instead of putting an actual, like, fucking number of strips in there. Ow. Darn, why? Oh, man. I think I think at the very beginning, when he was making this game, I was also thinking that he probably wasn't gonna kill everyone. I feel like I'm pretty sure I said something like that. Or he was gonna frame it in a way that not everyone has to die. And then Erica ruins everything because she's literally evil, pure evil. Probably. How does how does Battler keep falling for these tricks, dude? He's too easy to fool, man. What do you mean Eshiam told you to do it? Is true? Did you tell him to do it? Oh, the silence is deafening. If we're here at a wedding ceremony, does that mean Battler and Beatrice what? No. Did they win whatever that like those trials the Zepar and Furfur made? Because the last we left off with them, I'm getting I'm gonna be talking for a little bit before we begin. I need music. Yo, 2 Amogus! Hey, there's a Blitzball in there. Ow. Dude. You can't keep spamming it. I'm gonna remove that as an option to use. Broly, look! It's over. It's over. Yeah, sure, that one works. Whatever, play that. What was I even talking about? I'm gonna end stream now. I literally forgot what I wanted to say. I was talking about the challenges, right? Everyone was apparently of equal power, but they needed to figure out a way to solve things so that two pairs could win. Last we left off with them, George and Shannon were in one room, and then Jessica and Cannon were in another room. And Battler and Beatrice are like dying. Battler trying to figure out how to break out of a room that I don't think there's an actual way out of it, but I want to believe there is. Brain scrambled, it sure fucking is. Thanks. But if we're at a... No, because this wedding doesn't involve Beatrice at all. If it's how it is, like how we saw it at the beginning of the episode. Also, it's interesting how the episodes are seeming to end without, like, the full set of murders happening. Like, alright, you already gone through the whole epitaph ceremony like 5 times, 4 times, whatever. Let's mix things up. Keep getting derailed, mostly because of Erica. That's why she should be removed forever. Tossed aside. Cast into oblivion. It's her fate anyway. No way freaking Burn is gonna allow her any, like, freedom or anything after this is all over. She's... Yeah, okay, dude. You know what? She literally... She kills them with the idea that it doesn't matter if she left evidence, like the freaking blades and bags and everything, like, behind in each room, because the board game doesn't matter. But it'd be so funny if the... After Battler beats her ass by escaping that lost room, if the game just continues from there. Oh no. The consequences of my action. Absolutely nothing with the gold this episode, rather. I think last episode is when Battler found it. But absolutely nothing going on with it in this episode. They mentioned it like once, and that's it. Didn't really take priority. Also funny how they mentioned Kinzo for a bit and then decided not to pursue the topic because it didn't matter for this board game. For this game. I don't know why I keep calling it a board game. Kind of is. The way it's kind of like chess. Anyway, anything else major that I should probably think about? I fucking hate at the very end of Battler and Erica's, like, freaking fight there. Erica was like, oh yeah, I didn't talk about this, but I totally used the tape to fix the chain when then I locked it right when I entered the room. That shouldn't be allowed. They're just making up their own rules, dude. You know what? The very first time that happened, whenever the letter appeared, and she's like, oh yeah, I actually used tape on the room surrounding Battler. I just forgot to tell you, haha. That she should have fucking revoked her right to use any of the tape right then and there. The card game? Oh, right, duh. Hey, Master allowed it, blame Battler. Dude, if I was Battler, I would have revoked her access to using any of the tape right then and there as soon as she said, oh yeah, I just forgot to tell you right away, haha. How do you escape a room? One idea I was thinking about is like, it's... The chain is taped, right? Like, you would assume tape, duct tape especially, has some thickness to it. You could probably extend the length of the chain slightly, Maybe even just enough to be able to actually re-latch it by sticking your hand inside the door. Like, extend it just enough to open... to leave the door open the right amount for, like, an arm to be stuck through to re-latch it, right? Hmm... Give him access to, like, the wires and... and the cutters. What if he just, extended the length of the chain even more with, like, the wires? And it's, like, enough for him to relatch it from the inside with an arm, like, instead of just doing what I said earlier? Would that still count as the chain still being intact? Like, it would be obvious if you were, like, to inspect the chain, but... But Erica and Bern and all them seem so sure that the room is impossible to escape. You think they would spend time to inspect the chain? Ask for a detailed, like, description of what the chain looks like? Don't know why Rikushi wrote this chain lock is impossible to latch from outside. You can do that with a bolt hanger or something. What are you trying to say? That my idea won't work? If his arm is on the inside, then he's technically still on the inside when latching it, right? You use a coat hanger, then he's not on the inside. That's the coat hanger. Okay, it makes sense to me. Alright, we've been talking for like 10 minutes here, 15 minutes. It's just yapping about nothing. Oh, wait. No. What other stupid ideas can I think for escaping? He's already declared that he's not in the room. What if he just thinks back to how he's not Ushumiya battler born from Rudolph and Asumu? And says that battler, the one that isn't in the room, so that it all makes sense again. Surely that would work. Yeah? That would be my next plan. It's perfect. Alright, let's drink some more coffee, stop this music, and actually continue what's going on. Oh boy, we're never gonna get through this episode if I just try thinking in circles forever about how to escape this room. Already starting a little bit later than usual. Actually, at the time I usually do my weekend. I start an hour early. Wanted to eat food, and also I was intentionally waiting for Best Jam to stop working. He wanted to see this. Alright. Demon wedding ceremony.
なんなの大切なお知らせって。
聞いてくれ、フルフル。
Bring it on. Just get this over
僕
with.
たちのイメージソングが CD になって登場するんだ。
What the hell are you guys talking about?
嘘だ
What- Why are you guys acting up surprised, dude?
そこーん。いつも同じような登場じゃ飽きたとお嘆きだったからね。
ちょっぴり趣向を変えてみたの。
These guys are such dweebs, dude.
僕たちはエンターテイナー。そして舞台は生もの。
たまにはアドリブもなくっちゃだわ。余計なお世話だぜ。うぜえぜ。
Why did you go along with it? Big all surprised.
申し訳ないけど、まだ第二の試練をどうするか。僕たちは相談中なんだ。
Your time might be up.
もう少し時間が欲しい。
Two of you guys might win by default because Battler is trapped in his mind.
できれば静かな時間をね。
申し訳ないね、ジョージ君。その第2の試練について本当に大切なお知らせがあるんだ。
ある人には朗報、ある人には強報かしら。
強砲の人はもう事情を察してるだろうからね。何の話かわからない人たちは全て朗報さ。
ベアトリーチェ様、何でもありません。
5 people were there. Only Battler was missing. Beto's expression was dark, her head hanging low. Everyone realized that something must have happened to Battler. Quick, everyone here, team up and think of how Battler can escape that room. Team effort, let's go.
バトラ君がリタイアしたことをお知らせしたい。
Everyone murmured. Just what had happened?
魔女のゲームは彼を永遠に待ってくれるけど、愛し合う二人は永遠には待てないの。
恋はまさにアイスクリーム。甘く
Eat
と
it
ろけ
before
る
it
けど
melts.
早く食べなければ失われてしまう。彼の復帰を待てるほど僕たちのゲームは気長じゃない。
朗報というのはそういう意味か。そりゃライバルが減るのは嬉しいけどよ、他人の不幸に喝采して喜ぶと思ったら大間違いだぜ。
一番強敵だと思ってたバトラ君はね、理由は聞かないよ。視界の悪
No, ask why.
そういうことなんだろう。
ではベアトリーチェ様はどうなるのですか。私はもう試練の資格を失うそうです。
これは愛し合う二人の絆を確かめ合う試練だからね。
今のバトラ君はそれができる状態じゃない。だからこの二人のペアは失格なの。本当にお気の毒。
しかし彼女もこの三つどもえの愛の試練の参加者の一人さ。だからこのまま見届け人として立ち会ってもらおうと思うんだ。
それは明暗だわ。彼女にも試練を乗り越えた二人を祝福する資格はあるんだもの。
君はそれでいいのかい。
はい、最後まで見届けようと思います。そしてそれでも彼がすぐに戻ってきて資格を取り戻し、私と一緒に再び試練に戻ってくれることを信じています。私は彼女に見届け人の資格があると思います。
No one asked you. She already said she's gonna be an observer. What are you saying?
異論はねえぜ。邪険にする理由もありません。
しかし申し訳ないけれど強力なライバルが減ったんだからね。バトラ君たちには悪いけど今のうちに僕たちの試練を決着させておきたいところだ。
さすがはジョージ君。私の中ではあなたが一番の本命なの。
その冷酷さを備えた愛がむしろ熱さを際立たせてくれるんだね。
とにかくこれで3組は2組に
Wow, George is so cool.
3組になっていた状態は解消されたわけだ。僕たちは1対2で負けることに怯えてきたから積極的に戦えなかった。
1
Cowards.
対1ならただ潔く。結局最初からそうするべきだったって単純な結論になるわけだな。
Four people stood up as though responding to some invisible summons. Faced each other, glaring. We're to fight! Fight now! Only Beto was off to the side, watching the course of the young lovers fight in suspense. Each pair of lovers has an unbreakably strong bond. Then, isn't that enough? Their love is already the real thing. There's no need to test it. But if so, then why must they fight? The victorious couple will be bound together by a magical miracle, and the defeated couple will fall apart. Why have the demons promised us that we will fall apart without a magical miracle? Why is a demon's game like this necessary? I don't understand. No, they aren't important right now. I have to think of an escape trick as soon as possible so that I can save Battler-san from the locked room. Save him! Oh hey, you're here. Can you think of something?
話を聞いた。厄介なことになったらしいな。お姉様、可愛い妹にして一なる自分の片割れであるそなたを笑わなりにバトラの密室の謎に挑んでいるが、これは難解だ。まるでただの鎖を知恵の輪だと偽られているかのようにさえ感ずる。
A wire puzzle.
ラムダデルタさんに言われました。かつてのベアトリーチェなら絶対に解けるトリックだって。お姉様にはわからないんですか？そのかつてのベアトリーチェという存在はわらわたちが一つの姿となったわらわとてその身の一部分に過ぎぬ。解ける道理はない。
Why this? He meant that we wouldn't be able to figure it out no matter how much thought we put into our... But in... Fuck, I can't read. She meant that we wouldn't be able to figure it out no matter how much thought we put into it in our incomplete forms. She was saying that neither the elder nor the younger sister could ever be expected to solve this riddle. Rachel shook her head, chasing that thought from her mind.
私は諦めません。あの密室は心を急速に蝕みます。一刻も早く助け出さなければパトラさんの心が壊れてしまう。無論わらわも知恵を貸すことは厭わぬ。しかしわらわとてあの密室は見当もつかぬのだ。私たちで知恵を出し合えばそれはきっと一なる私たちが至るのと同じ答えのはず。どうかお姉様も諦めずにお知恵をお貸しください。どうしてあのバトラのためにそこまでせねばならぬのかは相変わらずわからぬがいいとも。
I feel like they can only become one once Beto actually understands the truth that Battler knows. And she forgot.
他ならぬ自分自身の頼みである。
Maybe that's what episode 7's gonna be. Figuring that out. Beto's side. Reverse rebirth.
わらわも知恵を絞ろうぞ。
ごらんフルフル。二人のベアトが一緒に考えているよ。
Or maybe they just need another Beatrice. Beatrice. Beatrice.
あの二人は本当にバトラを救い出せるのかしら。
救い出せるさ。愛の奇跡さえあればね。
そうねゼバル。愛の奇跡さえあれば絶対に。
ねえフルフル。僕たちがあの密室を解くヒントを与えてるって気づくと思う？
An hint for solving The miracle of love. Has to be what I was thinking of earlier, right? The two Beetles put their heads together, and, straining their minds with all they had, they searched for a plan to save Battler with. It was as though they couldn't even see the four people glaring at each other and solemnly discussing the matter of the duel.
気づくわ。愛があれば絶対に。
That's not gonna happen. Hmm. They were the demons of love. Love is the single element, the source of all miracles. Could the miracle of love provide an answer for a locked room trick?
また出たわ。愛がなければ見えない。そのキャッチコピーが概念的なものとしては通用するのも理解するわ。
Oh, I get it. Is that Battlers can still be in the room and not the room. Not in the room at the same time. He just needs to, like, walk up to Erica, put a ring on her finger, and then he becomes Fruto Battler. It is solved. Totally unexpected. Nobody would have expected that. Maybe this is the answer. I'm gonna off myself in a second here for even saying such a thing. Hold on, give me a sec.
でも密室トリックは情愛のかけらの一切混じらない純粋かつ冷酷な算数パズルよ。
I wasn't reading this, sorry. Love, it cannot be seen. Understand how that cat phrase can describe a certain concept, but locked room tricks are pure, unfeeling mathematical puzzles. Well, you don't have love, so you can't see it. Without a fragment of affection within them.
この悪魔たちは何をヒントだと語っているの？
For you to think about, stupid.
私はすでにある答えを持っている。この悪魔たちの発言はそれが正しいことをさらに教えてくれている。はいはい、あんたはすごいわ。いつだって勝手に正解が分かってる。そして私には一言も教えてくれないんだわ。観測者ルールにのっとるなら、あんたがそれを私に教えない限り、あんたは正解が分かったふりをしてるだけの。やはり口の悪い巫女は良い。良いぞ人の
She
声。
loves it.
私にとっては巫女の皮肉や雑言は神楽と同じ。ああ、本当にイラつくご主人様だわ。お兄ちゃんのバカ、どうしてあんな密室を自ら。考えるがいい人の子よ。考えるのは物語の中の人物だけの仕事ではないぞ。
Everyone needs to think.
朗読者のそなたにも思考を楽しむ権利がある。
Even me, but I'm not so good at thinking.
私はそれを見るのが楽しい。
Try to turn this up slightly. There we go. One more. There we go.
かけてもいいわ。あんた、前の巫女には絶対愛想をつかされて逃げられたんだわ。
Who was your last Miko anyway?
私をなじって楽しむもよし、二人のベアトと共に悩むもよし、そなたが考えぬ限り物語は進まぬぞ。どうしてよ。私は朗読者でしょ。ただ黙々と読み進めればいいだけの話でしょ。
Oh,
いいえ、
back to this.
考えてほしいのです。読み手のあなたにも。なるほど。あんた、つくづく嫌な作家ね。
What is with the switch between the, like, magic-like realm that they're in and then this more realistic realm, I guess you can say. rural world-like area. Why constantly switch between the two? Angie was, of course, still only halfway through the tale. What do you mean halfway? You realize we're on like chapter 16? I doubt it goes all the way up to chapter 32. Oh, yes. However, there were only a few pages left in the manuscript she was reading from. Where was the manuscript for the rest of the tale? It should continue much further than this. There should be many more pages remaining. Those were inside a different brown envelope, which was in Hachijo's hand. With a grin on her face, Hachijo waved the thick brown envelope about. You want to read more? Do what I tell you.
Cool.
Amakusa likes it.
これはお嬢が一本取られましたぜ。
Letting you read only so far for free, and stopping when it finally gets to the good part. Because I couldn't stop laughing at this underhanded approach.
あなたなりの意見が推理が欲しいのです。それを先に私に話してくれたら、この続きの原稿をお渡ししましょう。
Alright, so there's like little bombs, right?
バカにしてるわ。こんなふざけた真似をされてまで、あんたの言いなりになると思う？
お嬢、まあまあまあまあ、落ち着いて。俺も先が読みたいですから、頭を冷やしてくださいって。八条先生、原稿の続きですが、密室トリックの答えやいろんな謎の真相も書かれているんですよね。
もちろん、もっとも何も考えぬ思考なき者が読んでもわかるようには書いてありませんが。
あんた、いつか熱烈な読者に裏切られたって刺されるわよ。
Might even be her.
それを分かっているから人前に出ないのですよ。
Oh, I see.
人の子よ。
He expects it.
とにかく八条先生はこうおっしゃいたいわけだ。まずは答えを聞かせろ。答え合わせはその後だと。
その通りです、青年。意地悪がしたいのではない。本当の意味で物語の結末をしっかりと理解してほしいから尋ねているのです。
天草、あんたすっかり楽しんでるでしょ。
Yes.
ああ、そういえばあんたはテレビのクイズ番組とかめちゃくちゃ大真面目に挑戦してたもんね。なるほど。人生をあんたの方が私より数段楽しんでるみたいだわ。
さあ、バトラを密室から出す。
He just likes having fun. Come on.
どうかあなたも考えてください。
I already did that at the
考
beginning.
えた
Don't worry.
ものにこそ。いえ、考えたものにしかこの続きを与えたくないのですから。
Hates other people having fun. Yeah, why should other people have fun? She's right. The only one that should have fun is me. Alright, we're finally here. This is finally the start of the freaking wedding ceremony that we saw at the very start. What do you mean, my wedding? In the Witch's Cathedral. No, considering everything that's gone on in here, maybe it should be called a demon's abode. Erica, who wanted to savor the memory of her perfect victory, stood with a whole vast cathedral to herself as the blush slowly left her cheeks. Then, on the balcony that she had thought empty, a shadow came into view. It was Lambda Delta.
ラムダデルタ教でしたか？こんなところにお一人でいらっしゃるとはお珍しいです。
ああ、あんた大勝利おめでとう。
Why does Lambda like Burn so much? Is it because... Actually, it was mentioned a while back, right? That Burn escaped some sort of... like a labyrinth herself. Was that something a Lambda did? Like trapped her in a sort of thing that Battler's in right now. Burn managed to escape and then... that made Lambda want to like chase her around. Seems like it. That's why people need to read it here. Gurushi, maybe. I'll read it if someone gets me Silent Hill F and I get to play through that.
おかしいわね。あんたには前回もそんなことを同じ場所で言った気がするわ。
She was probably trying to be sarcastic. However, Erica was in such a good mood that even those words sounded like a compliment.
さっきちらりと聞こえてしまったのですが、
何？
ダムダデルタ教のかつてどこかの大魔女のゲーム版で
What witch, though?
駒ともてあそばれ無限地獄に閉じ込められた経験がおありとか。
Erica had an unpleasant, triumphant look on her face, as though she had managed to pry into some embarrassing memory of another's past. She would enjoy doing that sort of thing, did. However, Lambda Delta didn't look in the least bit flustered, and instead looked down from the balcony in silence.
春は？私は何年閉じ込められたかしら。ベルンみたいに私も律儀に数えていればよかったかしら。
Oh, Burn counted how many years she was in there.
多分数えなくて正解だったわ。数えてしまったからベルンは壊れてしまったのよ。
我が主もロジックエラーの地獄に落ちたことがあるというのですか？
春はロジックエラーを起こしたのはあの子ではないけれど。
主がゲームマスターではない。
そうよ。
How does someone not the game master fall into a logic error? We know there's a few ways that a human can use their red, such as last stream when Erica said that she killed all of the family members. So she was able to say in red that they wouldn't be able to save Battler because they were dead. Maybe something similar to that happened with Burn. And she accidentally made red truths that created a logic error within the game board. So it wasn't the game master's fault that the logic error was there, trapping her instead. That feels like the only way that could work. Trying to think if something like that can be used to break out of the room. Flipping the logic error onto Erica instead. Maybe not.
当時あの子はまだ自覚さえしていない小さな駒だったわ。ロジックエラーを起こしたのはベルンの主であるゲームマスターだった。
Alright, never mind. Everything I said is just garbage. It's again spouting stuff that seems right to me, only to be deconfirmed like 2 sentences in from when I started yapping about it. We love that.
我が主も魔女の駒だったのですか？
ええ、あの子の主。これがまたひどいやつでね。
Who was it?
自分で作ったゲームのはずなのに、途中でゴールがわからなくなっちゃって、スタートとゴールがつながった。ドーナツみたいな壊れたすごろくを作ってしまったのよ。
A
ゴール
donut.
をなくしたとは？
ロジックエラーってことね。どうやれば自分の望むゴールにたどり着けるか。そいつは自分のすごろくを、ロジックを描けなかった。
Does every witch have like a different freaking board game they use as a base?
だからいつまでもすごろくは壊れたままでゴールがなかった。
With Trick and Burn, it was backgammon. With you, it's like some sort of card game. But Beatrice, it's chess.
ならば自分一人で 静かにそれを悩んで考え出せばいいのに、そいつはあろうことか、その考えることさえも駒であるベルンに任せっきりにしたのよ。無限の猿の定理って知ってる？
猿が無限の時間の中でデタラメにタイプ
Hey, you get enough monkeys together, they can write the entire works of Shakespeare, eventually.
いつか偶然にも文字列がハムレットと全く同じ文章になるかもしれないという理論。いいえ、暴論ですね。
ひどい地獄よね。ベルンは無限の時間の間、意味もわからずデタラメにタイプライターを叩かせられて、ゲームマスターは自分さえ思いつかないゴールを彼女に作らせようとしたのよ。
Could Erica even imagine how horrible of a hell that had been? A job that you have to do 100 times, and a job that you have to keep repeating until it succeeds, with a 1 in 100 probability. May look very similar probabilistically. Is that an actual word? I never heard. Like, it's a combination of probability and statistically, right? I've never seen this word before ever in my life. But the difference in cruelty between them is great. When you have to do a job 100 times, you steadily approach the end, get more efficient as you become more used to it, and eventually you can finish it. However, when you have to do a job that succeeds with a 1 in 100 probability, the hard work of the individual doesn't translate to even a slight gain in efficiency. Me grinding for like perfect sparks. Everything's left to luck. If luck isn't on your side, then even a task of flipping coin until you get heads can last more than 100 years.
タイプライターの鍵盤数っていくつくらい？
Too
100個くらい
many.
かしら。
100? I count at most like 26, 36, 40, 50, even including the punctuation. I don't think you would go any higher than like 60.
それをデタラメに叩いてハムレットになる確率って何分の1だと思う？
想像もつかないです。多分それはあまりに天文学的。
そう、もはや無限にも等しい時間よ。それほどの気の遠くなる時間を、奇跡を打ち出すまでタイプライターを叩かせ続けられたのよ。
それが奇跡の。
あの子が魔女じゃなかったら、いえ、魔女になれなかったら、多分今も永遠にタイプライターの前にくくりつけられた黒猫のままだったわ。
She may be literally a cat sleeping on a typewriter for like a billion trillion years.
あの子は奇跡に愛され、見事に奇跡を打ち出し、 魔女となってあの地獄を生還したの。その地獄があまりに長すぎて過酷すぎて、あの子の心はすっかり壊れてしまった。だからあんなにも意地悪で残酷な魔女に。あんたも選べるならあんな主は嫌だったでしょ。
そんなことはないです。我が主の駒となれて私は光栄です。我が主は強き者、虐げる者です。弱者を踏みつけるのは当然の権利なのです。
Alright, dude.
いじめる側の人間ってわけ。最上級のいじめっ子の作り方って知ってる？
いいえ。
Greatest bully ever.
簡単よ。短い時間でもいいからたっぷりいじめて、不意にそれをやめ、今度は力を与えるの。これをや
True.
れば誰であっても最上級のいじめっ子に生まれ変わるわ。しかもすごいことに、本人はほんの3日しかいじめられてなくても、その100億倍の期間の間、自分はいじめられっ子だと信じながら最上級のいじめっ子として君臨するの。
それが我が主と何か？
あんたにベルンのことは何も分かってないわ。だから私はね、ベルンがどんなに冷酷で残忍で最悪なゲロカスであっても、私だけはあの子の本当の姿を知っててあげたいの。そして私もね、私の本当の姿を理解してくれるのは地獄の生還者であるあの子だけだと思ってるのよ。あんたは私とベルンの仲を嫉妬してるみたいだけど、諦めなさい。あんたがくぐってきたと思ってる地獄なんて、私たちが這い出してきた地獄では瞬き一つ程度のもんなんだから。
Ooh. Lambda Delta was probably mocking Erica back. Deserved? Based? And this courage expression in Erica's face clearly showed that she couldn't accept Lambda Delta's words.
お言葉ですが、地獄は長さではなく深さだと考えてます。
ふーん、言うじゃない、真実の魔女エリカ。
ラムダデルタ教の潜られた地獄を私は存じません。そして私が地獄にいた時間などきっと瞬き一つ分程度でしょう。
What sort of time is Erica even talking about here? Was it before the Rankjima events? Is it the freaking Game Boy episode she's talking about? 5 and this one 6? What is she talking about? Am I supposed to know it? Maybe it's related to the thing, the like thought battle she had with Delanor, like earlier on. Hmm.
しかしその深みでは私は何ら劣ることはないと思っています。
あんたの戦勝祝いも兼ねて反論しないで聞いてあげるわ。
私に言わせれば我が主の落ちた奇跡があれば抜けられる地獄も存じ上げませんが、絶対の意志があれば抜けられるラムダデルタ教の地獄も、どちらも抜けられるようにできている程度の地獄です。
へえ、
Spells made to be
言う
faithful,
じゃな
huh?
い。
私は真実の魔女です。私の潜った地獄にはただ真実がありました。真実という冷酷な現実の前には一切の意志も、そして奇跡さえも介在できません。私はその真実を踏み越えてここへ至ったのです。この真実に耐えるという力において、私はあなたにも我が主にも
引けを取るつもりはありません。真実に耐える力って何よ。わからぬ者にはわかりません。それを制止できなかったからこそ、あなたたちは真実の魔女足りえないのではありませんか？
But they're talking all big. Lambda just ending Erica right here would have been a base ending. She should! Like an obliterator. Oh.
許すわ、その暴言も。それに相槌を打ってあげることがこのラムダデルタからの勝利の褒美よ。ありがとうございます、大ラムダデルタ卿。
あら珍しい。あなたたちが仲良くしてるなんてね。
It's like getting along to you? At some point, Birkenstow had appeared on the opposite balcony of the cathedral. Erica, noticing her, cried, "My master," happily and dashed over. You know what? It'd be funnier if you just ended
我
Erica.
が主の昔話を伺っておりました。奇跡の魔女である我が主にふさわしい。
一度だけ許してあげる。
はい。
二度と私の昔の話はしないで。
Miss rose to her face, blasting Erica's good mood away. And so Erica understood. Birkenstow was also a witch running from boredom, because if it ever caught up with her, she would remember those never-ending days of hell. This is proof that even my master still hasn't gotten over the pain and fear of hell. It means that she lacks the power to withstand the truth. For the first time, Erica felt just a little disdain for her master.
失礼しました。それよりこのようなところへどうしてお越しに？
あなたに褒美を取らせようと思って探してたのよ。
褒美ですか？ありがとうございます、我が主。へえ、何それ羨ましい。何を取らせる気？
まずあんたを仮でなく本当の魔女へ昇格することを認めるわ。後見人は私よ。真実の魔女フルドエリカ。
ありがとうございます。仮が抜けただけじゃないの。その程度の褒美じゃあまり嬉しくないわ。もっと素敵なご褒美がいいわよね。いえ、そんなことありません。
Of course, on the inside, Erica did want another present. Boiled. Picking Q from Lambda Delta, she waited patiently to see if there would be any other
もう一
rewards.
つの褒美は
Arkansas snapped her fingers. You can just do that? Snap him into existence? As she did, a cloud of gold butterflies gathered, and summoned Battler sitting in a throne at the center of the cathedral. Of course, his eyes were blank. He was still an invalid. Quite the terminology there. His heart trapped in a locked room. He would never be allowed to escape from.
あの男をエリカに褒美として与えるわ。
Ew, gross.
バトラーを
Why would I want him?
褒美に？
She's disappointed at that, like, what the fuck?
へえ、なるほどね。エリカにこのゲーム版の領地をすべて相続しようって言ってくれてるのよ。
そういうこと。バトラの指をご覧なさい。領主の証である片翼のわしの指輪をつけているわ。あれをあなたのものにすれば、あなたは正式にここの領主となる。私に嘱託されるんじゃない。名実ともにあなたの領地となるよ。
その指輪をバトラの指から抜き取れと？
This reality will be hers. You mean the one where she killed everyone and will definitely go to jail?
バカね。女が男の指から指輪をもらえる儀式は一つしかないじゃない。
I don't think that's how that works.
エリカ、領主夫人となってバトラをめとりなさい。
バトラをですか？
そうよ。永遠に目覚めない領主にはそ
そばで支えて執務を代行する伴侶が必要だわ。つまりあなたがこの領地を支配するのよ。
そして結婚式を挙げ指輪を交換する。バトラの領主の指輪はあんたのものになる。
そして代わりにあなたは霊族の指輪をバトラの指につけなさい。あなたは永遠にバトラを支配し、恥ずかしいこの領地でゲーム版であなたの心が赴くままに大好きな物語を好きなだけ紡ぎなさい。
領主はフルドエリカ。あんたの望む物語は全てが叶うわ。領主は神。おめでとう。あなたはこの小さいけれど素敵な世界の神になるのよ。
Alright, so do it, go through with this, and then when she becomes Territorial Lord, trap her in the room to think of how to escape. Battler gets free. Toss her in that hell forever.
それは本当ですか？私がこの世界の神に。それが私があなたに最後に与える褒美。バトラの指輪を得てあなたは自らの世界を作りなさい。その時あなたはもう私の駒じゃない。一人の立派なそして素敵な魔女だわ。おめでとうエリカ家。そしていつかかつてベアトがそうしたようにまた訪れる私を歓待しなさい。はい、これほどの栄誉はありません。そして気に入りましたバトラとの結婚思えばこれほどの暴虐はないわけです。何しろあのベアトリーチェはバトラに尽くしたい、好かれたいという感情から生まれたらしいじゃないですか。そんな魔女が生み出した世界で私がバトラをめとり、汚す、恥ずかしめるわかります。恋焦がれる人を奪われる苦しみ、よーくわかります。私はついにそれを与える側に回れたのですね。光栄です。これほどの栄誉はありません。
Finally the one dealing out the pain. Guess that thing that she had with Eleanor like actually happened like to her in the past.
気に入ってくれてよかったわ。あなたが世界で一番喜ぶ褒美だと私は知っていたんだから。ありがとうございます。我が主。
It can't be that whole thing with her boyfriend is like the hell she's trying to speak of, right? Surely not. That's absolutely nothing compared to what Byrne and Lambda went through from what I've heard of them. She's so absurdly full of herself, holy. Erica leapt down from the balcony and broke her legs, and walked briskly toward Battler. Then she peered down at the reward she had been given.
素敵なフィナーレじゃない。結婚式をやるのね。
そうね、盛大にね。ベアとのゲームの最後にふさわしいじゃない。
もちろんベアトにも招待状は送るんでしょ。
来てくれるといいんだけど。
Stop being so evil.
さあ、忙しくなるわ。式の準備に段取り、招待状。
ウェディングドレスにケーキもね。披露宴の準備もしなくっちゃ。
The two witches disappeared, cackling. Only the two who were to be wed remained in the cathedral.
聞こえてます？バトラさん、これからあなたがどうなるか。
Rattler's consciousness wasn't completely gone. It was very distant, but he was slightly tethered to reality. And that was what made it cruel. It was as cruel as though the spider caught Erica to wrap the Battler up, and was eating him while he was still conscious. In fact, she might have been more like a certain kind of wasp, paralyzing her prey and keeping it alive so that she could eat it later. In short, Samadhi, her cruelty was very similar to that of a predator, yeah?
られませんよ、その密室は。
Love how it describes the same thing multiple times in many words.
だってあなたがあれほどに赤き真実を並べ、だから安心して永遠に閉じ込められていてください。そうしている間にあなたの体は私がたっぷりと恥ずかしめて差し上げますから。
What does she mean by this?
寝室は鏡張りにしましょう。あなたがどうやって恥ずかしめられているか、あなたの目にもよーく見えるようにです。そしてその部屋には天井に鳥かごを吊るしましょう。その中にはあなたの愛しの魔女
Bro.
ベアトリーチェを閉じ込めておきましょう。ねえ、素敵でしょう。
You can't say that.
ああ、わかるわ。こちら側はなんて神なのかしら。
As he listened to this mad laugh, Battler couldn't even bring a distressed expression to his face. His heart was still trapped in the locked room he had created. And his body and soul would soon be trapped within a new locked room of Erica's. The locked room within a locked room. It's the locked room called marriage. I'm a boomer joke in here?
いやあ、聞いたかいフルフル。
Oh, you're here?
聞いたわ、ゼパル。
You're listening to all that?
バトラ教とエリカ教が結婚式ですって。
They said it with so much of their usual frivolity that Beto had to ask them to repeat it again.
どういうことですか？
ご存知の通り、ここの領主様はお心を塞がれてしまって物も言えない。
美しきエリカ教がその妻となられて執務を支えられることになったんですって。
The two demons explained the situation in a very simple, yet dramatic way. I know what's going on. They're planning to take advantage of the fact that Battler's heart is sealed away and use marriage to lock up his body as well, so that they can steal everything from him. At this rate, Battler will have his position as Game Master and his Territory Lord's ring stolen away.
おのれ泥棒猫め、好き放題しよって奪い返そうぞ。わらわに関心はないが、そなたのこととあっては人事ではない。
What's with this line on your forehead? Like a strand of hair? Hmm.
体だけ奪い返しても仕方がないよ。何しろ婚約証書には大ベルンカステル教が立ち会い人に名を連ねておいでなんだ。
元老院の大魔女が立ち会い人を務める以上、破棄は本人の意思以外ありえないの。
やはりバトラさんの心をあの密室から救い出さない限り助けることはできないのですね。
なら彼を密室から救い出す方法を見つけて。
花婿を奪いに行くのね。ああ、それは素敵。
それができればオペラにしたいほどの美しい物語となろうぞ。しかしながらバトラーを閉じ込める密室のなんと難解なことか。
You can do it, I believe.
扉のみ。そしてチェーンが閉じられていなければ脱出は認められない。
その上チェーンは外からは閉められなくて。
入れ替わりに来てくれる人もいないときたわ。
どう考えてもお手上げだ。諦めたらもう助けることはできないんです。今は諦めずに考え続けることだけが彼を救う唯一の手段なんです。
Nobito looked as though she was about to burst into tears. She clenched her fist tightly. She was so frustrated with her inability to think of any brilliant plan that her heart felt as though it would burst. Sorry, stretching. I've been thinking for a little bit. Erica sealed up the 2 rooms that pretty much everyone is in the guest house. That doesn't prevent them from getting out. Like, it's not like those 2 rooms are completely sealed away. Why is it that he can't use anyone from those rooms? Just because of that? The tape's there? But that shouldn't matter for getting him out of that room, right? You think if someone got out of there and had one of them help Battler, that it would all work out? Probably? You think Erica would be too fixated on how he could possibly get out of there? Thinking that he wouldn't use either of those, any of the people in either of the 2 rooms? I feel like maybe it could work. I don't think I read that. Obito looked as though she was about to burst into tears. She clenched her fist tightly. She was so frustrated with her inability to think of any brilliant plan that her heart felt as though it would burst.
その魔力はあらゆる不可能を可能としてきたというそなたらの魔力もしくは知恵でこの不可能な密室を破る妙案は出せぬのか。
そうさ、愛ならどんな不可能も成し遂げる。
成し遂げられないということは愛が足りない証拠だわ。
それを言われると悔しいです。
でも諦めない君の意志の強さには感服するよ。
そんなあなただからきっと奇跡を起こせるわ。
How about another hint?
その奇跡のヒントくらい出せぬか。そなたらとわらわは短い付き合いではある前に別れの選別に我が妹にせめてヒントくらいは出してやれぬか。
Actually, they kind of already did, huh?
ヒントなら僕たちはいつだって与えてる。愛がなければ
見えない。
見えぬから見せろというのに。こやつらはいつもこういう調子でな。
They cannot be seen. Isn't it usually it cannot be seen? The hints That's what they mean by they?
退屈はせぬが、こういう時には腹立たしい。
Zephyr and Furfur certainly were demons who possessed a great power. The power of love that they bestowed had created several miracles in the past, miracles so great that they left a mark on human history. However, those miracles were never given easily. They would give trials, tell riddles, and sometimes help the truth be realized, so that those who desired power can create that power themselves. No matter how pitiful the eyes that looked up at them, the two demons would never lend their power out of pity. As it is with God, it is with demons. They help those who help themselves.
分かっています。自分で考えますから。必ず私。
見よ悪魔ども、この今時純情な娘を。愛を司る悪魔として心が痛まぬか。出せヒントを。ヒントのヒントくらいなら出せるであろう。
A hint to a hint? Hint to hints? She plays Cage 2 Rendo? Zephyr and Furfur looked at each other. Of course, there was no pity on their faces. However, it could be seen that, though they did find the problem amusing, they were considering what they should do next.
どうするフルフル。
ヒントのヒントならいいかしら。
ああ、それで構わんから一つドーンと頼む。
So impatient.
よし、それではゼパルとフルフルから愛のヒントのヒントをプレゼント。
お願いします。
答えが見えないのは
愛が足りないから。
だからそういうヒントではなくて。
Needs more love.
もしも足りないのなら
満ち溢れた恋人たちを観察してはどうだろう。
そうね、幸いなことにここには2組も愛し合う者たちがいる。
彼らが愛ゆえに戦うところを少し見物していたらいいんじゃないかい。僕たちの試練を観測者の立場から見てみるといいよ。
だからそういうヒントではないというに。
So upset. Rachel the Elder yelled at them, asking for a more tangible hint. However, Zephyr and Furfur just giggled and ran about like a rat. Look at Canon, the man's just oozing love. Beto, on the other hand, took their hint to a hint seriously. Let's go. You can do it. I believe. How long have you two been here staring at each other? Now that she was out of the running, the second trial was between George and Shannon, and Jessica and Canon. Tear apart the two who are close. In other words, defeat one of the members of the opposing team. They were allowed to use any method they wanted. It could be a duel, or it could be rock, paper, scissors. After alternating many times between speaking as a group and discussing things as couples, finally, the four of them seemed to have reached a decision.
ゼパル、フルフル、いいかな。
Well, maybe Beatrice just needs to go and finish solving the epitaph. And then she can find the gold, and then become the next Beatrice. Beatrice. And regain all the power she had. Then she could do anything.
おや、やっとお声がかかったよ。
なに調子。
Beatrice. Beatrice for short.
決闘の方法が決まったの
BB. I don't know how much the two demons baited them with their fictitious tone. Fictitious? Facetious. With their tone, couple's serious expression did not waver.
はい。決闘することにしました。
A single duel.
決闘は僕とシャノンの2人が戦います。
それは意外だね。
Track sounds interesting.
1対1の決闘ならてっきり。
ジョージとジェシカが戦うものとばかり思っていたわ。
二人がどうしても自分たちで決着したいって聞かねえんだ。
僕も男として見守ることしかできないことが悔しい。しかしシャノンの決意は揺るがない。だから僕らはそれを尊重して信じるしかない。
カノン君、僕を信じてくれ。もし直接戦わなければならない日があったならそうするべきだとずっと思ってきたことなんです。
そしてそれが今日なのだと私たちは理解しました。もちろん避けることのできた日かもしれません。
しかしその日は訪れました。だから僕たちは逃げない。
Doesn't Canon kind of have the advantage in this? All Shannon has is barriers. I mean, she could crush Canon against the wall like she did with Maria, but... You know what this song reminds me of? That random thought. Off topic. This song reminds me of Wings of Freedom from Metaphor. Has that like same kind of like beat to it. Oh, that beat is gone. Man, maybe I should replay Metaphor. I wonder if there's any like difficulty mods for it or something.
そうだな。私も逃げないからここにいる。
同じだよ。
Do Grius only? Maybe.
シャノンを信じた。
Grius deserves more screen time.
だからもう僕から何も言うことはない。
Actually, maybe there's a randomizer for it. I think there was one early on, but it kinda busted. Oh man. A randomizer would be so funny. Imagine getting Merchant like 2 battles in. Or as your first like your first thing. I forgot what they were called. Your first metaphor. First persona. Your what the fuck are they called? Oh, forgot everything about the game. Not a real fan. Archetype. That's it. Thank you. I'm getting freaking sidetracked again, just thinking about things that don't matter for me. Oops.
そしてたとえシャノンが戦う決闘であっても僕たちの力は一つだ。だからこれは共闘なんだ。
Oh, power as one.
はい、そうです。
Together as one.
私は
Kingdom Hearts reference.
私たちを代表するだけなんです。
愛する者たちの決めたことなら。
悪魔とて口を挟めはしないわ。
さて君たちの決闘だけれどどうやって決着をつけるつもりだい？
まさか本当に決闘でいいのかしら。
A true fight? Like, nah, we're just gonna play rock, paper, scissors. At once, both Shannon and Canon nodded.
決闘の方法は？
どちらかが死んで終わる方法なら。
もし許されるなら苦しむことなく安らかに、そして死に至る以外の無用な傷つけ合いを避けられるものを望みます。ゼタル、私たちはこの高潔なる決闘の正しい立ち会い人になるべきだわ。
そう、分かったよ二人とも。君たちの高潔な意志を尊重できる高潔なる決闘を僕らは提案する。
You're gonna do like an old Western style, like backs to each other, 3 steps forward, turn around, bang. When Zephyr clapped loudly, a case with an old design appeared in the air and landed between Canon and Shannon. Shannon, I'd swap their names. Shannon and Canon. River nodded at them, urging them to open it. Canon crouched down and opened the case. There were a pair of antiques inside. They would have looked splendid hanging on the wall in some classy coffee shop. However, they were not mere decorations now.
これは
なるほどね。決闘にふさわしいじゃないか。
Oh, am I actually right? Oh shit! Those look amazing. Flintlocks? Inside the case was a pair of old-fashioned dueling pistols, like the kind used many centuries ago. Yes, this was a dueling pistol case, which was only permitted to be opened by those who wished to fight to the death.
弾は一発ずつ。君たちの要望に応え、魔法を込めておいたよ。
体のどこに当たろうとも痛みなく、そして必ず死に至らせる魔法の玉。
Oh no, now Shannon has the freaking advantage, because he has barriers! How's Cannon supposed to win against that? How do we know these belong to Kinzo? All we ever seen from him are the Winchesters.
最高の慈悲です。
二人が共に弾を外した時は
本来なら引き分け。でも僕たちの試練はそれを許さない。
二人が共に弾を外したなら仕切り直して再び弾を与えるわ。どちらかが死ぬまでそれを繰り返す。
僕は依存ないよ。
私もよ。よかったね。これで私たちはようやく決着をつけられる。
And finally settle this.
後ろ宮ジョージ。君を
What exactly are they
いや
finally
最後の
settling?
立ち会い人と認めるよ。
Like, yeah, this whole trial thing, but it feels like they're talking about something else as well. Do we know any more about their past? We know they're from like the same orphanage, but anything beyond that? Subtext? You're Umineko? Oh, you're right. Probably nothing then. I'm probably overthinking it again. Erase that. Don't think about it any deeper. Oh, you know her real name.
了解だ。
後ろ宮ジェシカ、あなたはカノン。いいえ、ヨシアの立ち会い人と認めるわ。
僕たちは決闘責任者。この決闘を必ず決着させるまで責任を持つ。
Ooh. When Zephyr and Furfur cried these words out, the whole area was blanketed in gold-colored light. And when it cleared, it became the rose garden where golden roses bloomed. But I'm thinking about something. Ed, we've seen Gap and Renove. Have we seen Virgilia at all throughout this episode? Like, I'm pretty sure... Like, she's in this list here, but have we seen her... at all? Too old, it was time to retire. Where has she been this entire time? Hmm. You're back in Umineko 2, but this is Umineko 2. Yes. What is the answer arcs? If not Umineko 2?
古風な奴らよ。わらわも千年の中で何度かピストル
The
の
second
決闘
half
を
of
見てきたが
Umineko? No.
このような決闘は初めて見る。
What is the sequel but the other half of what was the first in the series? Here we go. Higurashi 4. Why does my brain keep swapping the G and R in that freaking name? That's not how sequels work. That's definitely how sequels work. What is a sequel if not the continuation of a story? Therefore, the answer arcs are Umineko 2. 200 isn't a 200 is... Or 400 is a multiple of 200, but not the other way around. You can't multiply something by 0.5 and say that it's a multiple. That's who says the fucking laws of math, you absolute buffoon. You gotta stop saying that it is. Get it? Why can't you? Because I'm not stupid. I actually know math. Maybe dumb and everything else, but not math. I'm very sorry for what the Dutch education did to this man. That's okay, I understand. I shouldn't be mad at him. It's just how it is. I feel so sorry for him. A duel over love, is it? How old-fashioned they are. I've seen many duels with pistols during my 1,000 years, but I've never seen one like this.
悪魔が立ち会い人をするから。違う。普通、恋の決闘とは、一人をめぐって二人の恋する者が戦うと決まっておる。
Two people both in love with the same single person.
しかし、彼らは恋する二人が恋する二人と戦おうとしている。
How could this work? How could something like this work in like a non-magical setting? Because we know Shannon and Canon aren't blood related. Would it be too weird? Like Shannon and George like each other. Canon doesn't want that. Jessica likes Canon, but he doesn't like that? I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too much in that direction. Maybe it all doesn't really matter.
これはとても珍妙だ。
It is quite odd.
それはきっと魔法の奇跡が欲しいからです。私たちは魔法の奇跡がもらえないと恋が成就されないって。宇宙を作るための最小人数は何人か知っておるか。
Two?
あ、いえ
Shannon and Cannon each took a pistol out from the case, returned to their respective witnesses, and checked the weapons over. Then, after they had both determined that there were no problems, the two were asked one final time whether they were prepared to duel, and both of them nodded.
問題がなければ決闘者たちは2人で背中を向けて立ち決められた歩数を歩いて距離を開いてもらう。
それから合図と同時に決闘開始よ。
Nice big pink moon. Actually, I forgot to look outside last night. I wonder if the blood moon is still there.
ゼタル、その歩数は何歩がいいかしら。
そうだ
Three.
ね。ではこの決闘の因縁となる数字をそれにしようじゃないか。
Four?
因縁となる数字？それはいくつなの？
僕たちがよく知る数字さ。そしてこのゲーム物語が始まった時から何度も何度も繰り返されているあの数字さ。
Number which have been repeated over and over again. Six? Oh no, it could be 4 for October 4th. It's... Oh yeah, 07151129. You know, I was thinking about something earlier. I'm kind of yapping again, but this is more on topic than previous yapping. Like, a few days ago, I watched a video about Japanese Spamton. And how the way he speaks is different from how they did it in English. Like, in English, he has, like, in brackets, like, lines that could be taken from, like, that sound like lines that are taken from commercials and advertisements and stuff. In Japanese, he does sort of the same thing, but his text is more glitched. And in some places, he uses, like, numbers in places of, like, actual, like, kanji. Like, numbers that have, like, the same sounds. And it's make me wonder if that number, 07151129, is similar. If you spoke the numbers out as sounds, if it would. Probably not. Although, if we think back to that number, 0715 was said to be Battler's birthday. 1129? If they're meant to be dates, maybe the 1129 part is meant to be related to Beatrice. When we think back to that scene, I'm reminded how, like, Eva was writing that down in the receipt because she has 1 billion of those. But also that no one knew any dates that might match up with November 29th. In the same way, like, 715 is for Battler. I'm thinking about the number again silently. I'm not getting anywhere with that. Let's continue before I fucking get sidetracked for a million years and have the stream take forever. Way longer than it should be.
それは19
Oh, 19. Alright, sure.
数字です気に入ったよ全てと決別するには
19. $19? With Erica here, it's 19. 19 portraits we see here. Will it ever come into play how the servants refer to themselves as furniture and not humans? So whenever it's ever mentioned a number of people on the island, they can be excluded from that number. Hmm. 19. This number used to refer to the witch each time the illusion of a 19th person had been seen on the supposedly 18-person island. It was the length of time that had taken to create this tale. It was the length of time leading up to this inevitable day. And it was the age of the true territorial lord of this world. Huh? The length of time it had taken to create the tale. 19 days? Years? The length of time leading up to this inevitable day. Length of time taken to create this tale.
向かい合って19歩歩き撃つ
かなりの距離になるね。早打ちが有利とは限らない場合だ。
先に打って外してしまったら多分それで決着してしまう。
それを当てればかすり傷一つ負わずに勝てる簡単なゲームさ。
それでは決闘者たち背中を合わせて立ちなさい。
19. 1967? If I think back a bit more, hold on. Get out of there, the music's a bit louder. About 19 years ago from this point is when Beatrice was supposedly locked up in the Kuadorian, right? Or was maybe that was around when Kenzo came back from the war? Something like that. Oh man. Wasn't it about 20 years before 1986 is what I used to try to narrow down the time range for the war that Kinzo was in? And wasn't that what I did to start out everything there? What did they mean by I'm created the time leading up to this inevitable day? Could mean years, right? The time it had taken Cray. It's actually 19 minutes. Oh. Makes sense. Dan and Ken slowly walked towards each other, facing each other. Once they turned away, the next time they would see each other's face would be the time that they killed them. Well, this was the last time they would face each other.
「僕にあらせてくれて、灰色の世界に彩りを見せてくれて。
どうして私たちは生まれたんだろうね。
生まれた時、すぐに死ねればよかったんだ。
Quite a thing to say.
お父さんの罪だね。
そうさ、だからあいつも死ね。みんな死ね。
みんな死ぬよ。もうすぐね。そしてすぐにみんな蘇って会えるよ。もう私たちはカゴの中の小鳥じゃない。
僕たちはようやくカゴを出て、それぞれの世界へ羽ばたけるんだ。
君ともっと早くこうして決闘をすればよかったね。
それがきっと今日なのさ。
今日だね。